What's up, people? What's going on? It's your boy. It is your boy. I'm back. I'm sorry for the delay, but the delay is not a denial. Ain't nothing changed except the weather. Black people are still a target for being killed and hunted like mules and animals. Your rent is due. You need to make more money, and you don't trust the spouse that you with. That's the everyday life of most people. Welcome, guys, to Humanity Unplugged podcast. I'm your host, Jermaine McCrimmon. One more time, and again, we are here to give you what you need. And sometimes what you need, you don't want to accept it. Life in the past 6 months, 7 months of this year have been very rough for a lot of individuals, for a lot of people. We'd like to thank all our longtime listeners from tuning in with us, giving y'all that work, that information, the things you need to be successful. I am again your host, Jermaine McCrimmon. This is Humanity Unplugged podcast, and we are still here. We'd like to thank everyone for tuning in one more time and again. All our sponsors, all the people from around the world. Take off your shoes, relax your feet, party on down. Okay, get you something cold and refreshing. We will give you some good information. Do the research yourself. Let me know if you like it. You don't, it's okay. Comment if you may. Say something crazy if you want to. Feel free to express yourself the way you want to. It doesn't bother us here. We're just here to give you information. For all the people that graduated in June with your bachelor's, your master's, your associate's degree, we'd like to thank you for accomplishing something that you worked hard at, because no one knows the sacrifice you have been through to make that accomplishment a reality, to make that goal of yours a reality, to put people aside and put yourself first and say, I need to do this for me. I applaud you. For everyone that has lost a loved one in the last 2, 3 years, my hat tips to you in sorrow. I understand your pain. I understand your loss. It is not easy in today's economy. It is not easy to take a loss, never alone when it's someone you love that's close to you and is no longer with us. So I ask you to find the strength within yourself to move forward, to try to find a better place for yourself. And hopefully you can find God in that, and He will help you transfer over into a better place. Today, episode, 149th episode, we're down about 20 episodes. I should be like at 160, 165, to be honest with you. We're down at least that many episodes easy. And it's because of work and me being so heavily on top of that. I couldn't get into the lab and give you guys what you needed. Of course, numbers fall, numbers rise, but I don't do this because of numbers. I do this because I love what I do. And God going to be behind whatever I put forward. It's going to grow the way He wanted to grow. Unfortunately, a lot of us, we look for different forms of fame, reality, love. We express ourselves in different ways and formats. And that's cool if that's what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. Me, I give it to you just like this. You know, as I get it, you get it. And it's been a lot of people I've been looking at in the past 2 weeks. I've been wanting to talk about and give you guys this information. I've been wanting to give you guys different things I see. I clip it, I send it to myself. And what I've noticed in the past 6 to 7 months is that there's a lot of killing out in Mississippi. There's a lot of killing in Florida. There's a lot of killing all over the world, but especially those two states. A lot of hanging. A lot of African American people are being hung, hanged, in trees and universities, at churches, all over. People, especially the young women, are being found hung under trees. Young men in college are being found hung under trees. We are starting to come up once a month, every month, somebody's being hung or killed, and it's an African American person, it's a black person. And it's sad that this has increased and no one's talking about it. No one's on the radios or on the airways saying what's going on, why this is happening, to have our people be aware of this or try to stay out of the way. And I know it's like, how you say stay out of the way? Well, be careful where you hang at, the people you hang around. Everyone that smiles in your face, again, is not your friend. And people are looking at us for many different reasons. So it is proven that our organs last the longest. We live long ages when you get a healthy organ from an African black. It's proven statistics. I don't need to get into that. If you don't believe it, just check it out for yourself. It's there. So people are coming up missing. Body parts are being sold all over the world. Lungs, heart, kidneys. And the kid is coming up just gone. Some people are never found. A lot of kids, young adults are coming up missing, never to be found. And you see they're hanging them a lot because they don't want to damage the organs. It's a quick death. In some cases, sometimes it's longer, but none of the organs are damaged. So they're doing that and they can still sell the organs. If I'm not mistaken, Nolan Wells' organs were missing. His throat is still missing. This is crazy that you hear all the things that's going on in our society and our community, but the federal government don't step in. FBI don't step in and say, listen, this is not right. I don't care what jurisdiction the law falls under. This is wrong. Let's fix it. And no one's doing nothing about it because each state laws are different and they don't want to overstep their boundaries on what can be done and what can't be done in certain states. But I thought murder was wrong all over. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but I thought if you commit murder in any state, you get tried, you get arrested and processed and you find out what's what. I thought that happens in every state. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in Florida and in Mississippi, you can get away with murder and there's no consequences because that's what it appears to be. Because Florida comes up with a lot of murders, a lot of hangings, a lot of deaths out in Florida. Same thing happens. Memphis, same things happen in Mississippi. I mean, they're killing us and killing black people left and right in Mississippi. It is bad. And I don't understand. And I'm reaching out in my podcast just to try to get people to understand the seriousness of what's going on. Because a lot of people's not paying attention to it or understand how people are coming up missing or deaths are coming up every other week. Something is going on and it's getting worse by the minute. I ask you to take the time and look into some of these things that I'm mentioning today and do your own research. Find out what is it, what's going on. Find out if it's me just talking shambles or is this really happening? Look at the numbers, look at statistics, find out what's going on. I even heard, changing subject right quick, that Putin, he might be trying to start on low key a war. Taxes are going up. because of the new Medicaid program. I heard they might be pushing out. It's just a lot of different things going on that we had an earthquake not too long ago. Not in the United States, but still, it's out here. Things are happening left and right. Another person coming up missing. Another person hung by a tree. So high in the tree that there's no way she could have did it herself. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at every time a kid come up missing or dead or hung in a tree, the first thing they say quickly is suicide, self-inflicted. And it's amazing how you can tell within a day or two being on the scene that it was a suicide. It was self-inflicted. And this is the thing that bothers me with our media, with our crime, with police, our communities. When you overall look at a situation, why it takes you so quickly to look at a hanging and say, oh, it was self-inflicted, but don't see the BS in Nolan Wells and no one is arrested. How is that possible? That you can't see the BS in Nolan Wells' case, but you could tell right away with a hanging, oh, that was self-inflicted. Yet the throat is missing from this kid. Body parts are missing from this kid. He was brutally assassinated, murdered, and no one is arrested. I mean, it's going on for a little while now. And if someone is arrested, who? Because I ain't heard about it. Please correct me. I hear all these allegations and all this radar detection on the boat and discovery on where the boat went and the boat did this, how many boats and how many people on the boat and how many people was there and around, and people are confessing about this, that, and the third. But I haven't seen any arrests being made as of yet. How is that possible? Is the orange pumpkin man in presidency, he doesn't watch the news? He don't know what's going on? He don't feel a certain way? Because as a man, as a human being, and you cut on the TV, or you just sit there and go through your YouTube and you stroll through things on TikTok. And I know you're busy. And I know you do a lot of different things. And I know you might address a lot of different issues. But some things just get underneath my skin as a human being, as a man. Some things bother me as a human being, as a man. And I don't know if that's the same for every human being as a man. Do you take the minute or the moment to say to yourself, I got to look into that? Ain't no way in hell this got to be accurate. This kid was hung. Even if you don't look at it right away, after days, weeks, a month, and you get more information, you happen to follow it on the low, you don't think something about that is fishy? You don't think something about this ain't right? You don't take your homeboy and say, yo, listen, I need you to look into that for me. That bothers me. Because that's how I am. If I get wind of something and it bothers me, or it just seems like it's injustice, you don't look into it. As a government official, as an elected elite, Someone that's been selected to talk on behalf of others. You don't see it's necessary for you to speak up on someone's behalf, or just to say, conduct an investigation. I want to know what really happened. And yes, we know you can't do that on every subject or every murder or assassination, every killing that come across. But ain't it some of them that just give you that feeling that something ain't right? I thought that's obvious. I really did. I thought that when you see things as a man, you make a stand. You stand for something. And I just don't understand a lot of our political leaders, a lot of our people of fame and fortune with the voice, how they can stand by and not say something, not push it, not make it more public, to bring more light to the situation. It bothers me how teenagers are being killed left and right, and no one's talking about it. Black people are being hung left and right, killed, assassinated, coming up missing, and no one's caring. I'm sorry if this wasn't what you wanted to hear. I'm sorry if you tuned in and wanted me to talk about something totally different or not address this. But I just wouldn't be Jermaine McCrimmon if I skipped over this. I wouldn't be myself if I didn't care. That could have been my child. That could have been your child. That could have been anybody's child. And you got to go through this and see how people who smile in your face treated your child, lied about your child, put your child and do the things they did to them. I got some other things we're going to talk about, but I wanted you to understand our world is so effed up. And it's really coming down to you're going to have to protect yourself at all times. Because they are hunting us down. Hunting us down. I got some things for us today. I'm going into it now. Guys, listen up. I just want you to hear this because I can't make this stuff up. I really can't. This is what's going on. I can't make it up. So good. Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, good morning to you, Robin. Tasia Fortune's death has alarmed a lot of people, sparking fears about racially motivated murders. Now, police haven't said exactly how she died, but this morning, her mother telling our team that she knows her daughter did not do this to herself.
This morning, growing demands for answers in Mississippi after a 29-year-old mother of four was found dead, hanging from a tree.
We're going to press this as far as we can press it until she gets justice.
Tasia Fortune's body was discovered last week behind a vacant house in Jackson. The family telling ABC News the circumstances surrounding her death do not add up.
Tasia loved living life. Like, there's no way that she took her own life.
The Jackson Police Department saying, quote, an active death investigation is underway. They have not named any suspects and declined to comment on local reports that they questioned the father of one of Fortune's children about the death. Court records show Terrence Anderson, who's behind bars on an unrelated weapons charge, lives on the same street block where Fortune's body was found.
No one's trying blaming Ted or anything like that. You know, we just want answers.
Meanwhile, concern growing in the community and among local leaders given Mississippi's troubling history with lynchings and racially motivated killings. In the last year, Mississippi police have responded to 2 other tree-hanging deaths. Both were ruled suicides. Fortune's family rallying around her young children as they navigate this tragic loss.
She was a good mom, you know. She loved her kids and she loved her family.
And even though Tasia's death has sparked conversation about racially motivated murders, her mother tells our team that she does not want her daughter's name associated with that. There is an autopsy that's pending and should determine whether there was foul play involved in her death. Right now, though, police are urging anyone with information about how this young mother died to step forward.
So, this young lady, mother of four, found hung behind a house out in where? Mississippi. Again, Mississippi. And who did it? We don't know yet. Why? We don't know yet. All we know is another one. Here goes something else you need to listen to. I got something else. You know me. I'm always going to have something for you to listen to. Check out. This is another good one. This happened, I believe, in Jamaica. But it's so good, I got to play it.
Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome once again to our viewers on TVJ International in the Cayman Islands and online at onespotmedia.com.
We begin this newscast by delving deeper into the tragic story of the 10-year-old girl who was raped and killed in Church-Valley Tuesday evening, allegedly by her cousin.
Now, this evening, her family members share the chilling details of what they believe was a targeted attack by a serial rapist.
Before we continue, a serial rapist who raped and killed a 10-year-old girl who I think they're saying that was his cousin that he did it to. This man raped his 10-year-old baby cousin. 10-year-old cousin. He raped and killed her. But they got his butt.
We're told the suspect, who was killed by a mob of residents hours after the incident, was also helping with the search for the child.
Kalisha Williams reports.
This is where 10-year-old Shani Coke took her last breath, a lonely road off the beaten track in the hills of Troy, Trelawney.
The interview I'm giving you, I'm trying to see if I can get it all out of me, but I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. But I'm saying what I can say, you know. Life is so unfair.
Traumatized, depressed, don't know what to do because it could have happened to my daughter, my niece, anyone. Could have happened.
We were told Shani was on her way back home after her grandmother sent her to the shop around 3:30 Tuesday afternoon. However, her grandmother said she got suspicious after 30 minutes passed and the child did not return home.
I just called my grandson and say, come, Alric, come go up on the road, go look if you see your cousin. He go and he come and say, Grandma, me reach out a try, out of the cash pot, out of try cross, out of the cash pot, and I not see Ross Kaidra. So he come back to me.
Anxious and frustrated, Miss Williams said she went to the shop to see if she made it there.
He said, look, Mama, he said, no, me serving. Kaidra come and buy us a lady serving. And he serve him and tell him, say, Kaidra, me case and go on one because a lady say she kind of with anybody girl pitney. When you see them alone, you always encourage them. Say, look here. So he say, the girl never delay. He just sell him and she turn out and Tracy said, girl said things. All right, Tracy.
I love her accent, guys. She got
But those
accent.
fears
Boy.
would soon become reality, as hours later, Shani's body was found with the throat slashed. It's believed she was also raped. It's believed she was lured to the area where she was assaulted and then killed. We were told a suspect, Shani's cousin, was among the people helping her grandmother with the search.
Last night when I go around there and see him on the veranda, I was broken down so bad I could have hardly, I couldn't take up a pebble. And I said to him on the veranda, I said, you see, how me tell us if you leave my daughter alone, just don't go bother him. Don't come out here, come rob and kill me picking. And you rob and kill me picking. And he said, yes, sir.
Moments later, another bloodbath. The suspect, Delroy Coke, was chopped to death by an angry mob. His father, who sources say came to his defense, also received chop wounds and is battling for life in hospital. Residents say the incident is a culmination of their frustration. They claim the suspect was a serial rapist who had attempted to rape other people in and around the community and was recently released from prison for rape.
I talked to the father. I said, why you bring back this guy into the neighborhood? He said, I've seen picnic, do I want to do with him picnic? I see, I beg him, I say, I your cousin. Get this guy out of the neighborhood. The guy came to my business place and buy file quite a few times, machete file. And I said to him, my little daughter around there, she live around there as a girl child. Don't molest him coming out, you go rape and kill him. He said, no, Mr. Coke, no one do it.
So what happened?
So you're saying that this could have been avoided?
Avoided long time.
Now the tragedy has left a stain on the community, but residents are holding on to the memories of Shani, who was described as a bright and promising child.
You see that? Now, I kind of like what they did. You know, they took it upon themselves and said, you know what? Since you want to act stupid and do that to that young child, we got something for you. And they beat his ass. They killed him. And his father came to his rescue. They chopped him up too. Put him in the hospital. These are the things you got to do. Sometimes you fight fire with fire and you teach people a lesson, man. It's so sad, but it's our reality today. This is what it is. You know? I got one more for you, y'all. It's the earthquake that happened not too long ago. About 12 hours ago, earthquake happened out in Colombia, 7.4. It's crazy. Here we go.
Earthquake has struck western Colombia.
Everything's shaking. Buildings are shaking. Everything. Everybody just in the middle of the street right now. It's crazy. But that's all you can do.
Terrifying. One official says there is severe damage to buildings. You can only imagine seeing that video and that people are trapped. The mayor of one city says at least 2 people are dead there. And the U.S. Geological Survey warns that the level of shaking could mean significant casualties. The epicenter was located about 250 miles west of Colombia's capital. CNN meteorologist Derek Van Dam is keeping a close eye on this story. So, Derek, the initial quake was 7.4. What sort of aftershocks are we seeing here?
We've already had aftershocks of magnitude 5.0 and greater. So what you're looking at now is one of 6 airports that have sustained damage from the original earthquake, the magnitude 7.4. I'm going to show a series of videos because we're going to try and tie all these pieces together. You're looking at Cali, Colombia, near the epicenter. And I want you to see all the dust in the background here from this elevated position. These are buildings that have sustained severe damage, if not full collapse. And there have been reports coming out of this region that at least 20 buildings have collapsed. Of course, people trapped under the rubble. That is not good news. And then we take you to the ground, and this is what it looks like in Cali, Colombia. And you can see rescue efforts, first responders digging through the rubble amongst the aftershocks that are happening as we speak. So again, this is about 250 miles west of Bogota. The epicenter was actually about 100 kilometers below the surface. That's important. I'll tell you why in a minute. But let's talk about what the USGS does in these moments. They take previous earthquakes in similar tectonic plates, and they can compare them with the magnitude and give an estimate on the potential number of fatalities. It's a grim subject to discuss, but it's the reality we're facing. And they say, according to this analysis from the USGS, nearly 1 in 3 chance that there are over 1,000 fatalities from this particular earthquake. This is an intermediately deep earthquake, the epicenter. If it was near the surface, I would expect even more widespread damage than what we've seen. But regardless, we've got nearly 2 million people that have felt the very strong shaking from this powerful earthquake. And we expect aftershocks to continue. In fact, on average, we see with a 7.4 original earthquake, we have on average about 10 5.0 or greater aftershocks, maybe even a 6.0 or greater aftershock. That is certainly possible. These types of earthquakes and this power are very rare. We only get about 15 of them worldwide per year. And of course, anything above an 8.0, that is very, very rare. But going back to these videos, Pamela, terrifying moments. We have reports of damage to airports. So that's infrastructure, of course, buildings that have collapsed, and the rubble here that you can clearly see in these first few videos now we're getting out of Western Colombia.
So a lot of damage was done with this earthquake that hit in Colombia. It didn't hit the capital as hard, but not too far from the capital. Maybe 1,000 to 2,000 people instantly going to be hurt because they said too many buildings crashed down. So the number of people in those buildings is unpredictable at this present time. But the magnitude of 7.4, and after, you get the residual effects, the earthquakes that come after that one, they said all of them averaging 5 and 6. So it's a lot of earthquakes that's going to be happening over and over and over. Aftermath. It's so sad. It just had an earthquake not too long ago, about 3 weeks ago to a month. They had an earthquake out there, and here come another one. So it's like they can't get a break out there. Earthquakes are happening, and I don't know if you notice, guys. I'm gonna change the subject right quick, and I'm gonna let y'all be on something. I don't know if you're catching it. A lot of people might not be catching it. So I'm gonna say this to you. Do y'all know that the price of water went up? Is anyone paying attention at the stores? The price of water, bottled water, have went up tremendously. And it's because of the drought. We have a major water drought. All the western states are suffering big time with water. I'll say it again. Have you guys noticed the major water drought? The price of bottled water have went up almost $1.50 to $2 for a 24 to 40 case of bottled water. And I'm not talking about high-end bottled water. I'm talking about regular bottled water. I know. Think about it. Do your research. Check it out. Everything I'm telling you is real. I love you guys. Stay safe. God bless. And you know me. I'm going to have a whole nother one for you. We coming back. Hard and stronger. God bless. Stay safe. Protect yourself at all times. Peace.